Chicago Cubs News Today.
Would you take back a player who let you down just because there's no better option? What's up, Cubs fans? This is Jake Reynolds, and look, I need to talk to you about something that's been keeping me up at night. There's a rumor going around. A rumor I honestly didn't want to be talking about here. The expectation is that the Cubs might backtrack and bring back a veteran we've already seen up close. And let's be real, most of us don't want to see him wearing this uniform again. When you take a closer look at this situation involving the Cubs, a few things start to make sense. Injuries are hitting hard at the start of the season. We need depth on the roster. And then this name comes up, a respected veteran, someone who's been here before, but who, in 2025, had one of the worst seasons of his career. And even so, there are people predicting he's coming back. Because this story is more important than it seems, and when you understand the full context, the situation changes completely. So let's break all of this down right now. How many times have we seen the front office bet on names from the past, hoping experience would make up for lack of production? Jason Heyward in the final years of his contract. Edwin Jackson during that rough stretch. Even some of the veterans we brought in recently didn't deliver what was expected. The problem isn't just Justin Turner. It's the pattern of decision-making. It feels like we're always stuck between rebuilding and trying to compete, and we end up doing neither one well. Now let me ask you something, honestly. You, watching this right now, do you really want to see Justin Turner back in a Cubs uniform in 2026, after what we saw last year? Because I know there are people who respect the guy. He's professional, well-liked in the clubhouse, has a good reputation around the league. But the cold, hard truth is, he doesn't produce anymore. And baseball is about results. If you're paying for a ticket to go to Wrigley Field, you want to see players who hit, who run, who make a difference. You can't live off nostalgia. Let's break down the risk here. If the Cubs really sign Justin Turner, what happens? In the best-case scenario, he becomes a useful bench piece, comes in occasionally, gets a timely hit. That's fine. But it doesn't change the game. Worst-case scenario, he takes at-bats away from younger guys who need experience. He becomes dead weight in the lineup. And worse, the fans lose patience again. And then you create that heavy atmosphere at Wrigley Field. That feeling of, here we go again. That affects everyone. Now, behind the scenes, what I'm hearing is this. The front office is genuinely concerned about roster depth. They know they can't rely only on the current group if injuries continue. And Turner, realistically, is a cheap option. Low financial risk, right? But that's where the problem is. Low financial risk doesn't mean no risk. The risk is in image, team chemistry, and fan trust. And frankly, we've already lost too much trust in recent years. Think about the impact in the clubhouse. You've got young guys trying to prove themselves. Guys like Matt Shaw knocking on the door of the majors. And then you bring in a 41-year-old veteran who barely produced last year. What message does that send? We don't trust you. We'd rather bet on a familiar name even if he's clearly declining. That doesn't build a winning culture. That builds complacency. Look, I'll be straight with you. I respect Justin Turner as a person, as a professional, as a veteran, but I don't want him back on the Cubs. Simple as that. We need to stop looking backward. Stop trying to relive past success. Baseball is about the present and the future, and Turner isn't part of that future. If we've got injuries, then call someone up from AAA. Give a young guy a shot. Make a creative trade. But don't go back to a solution that already proved it doesn't work. So what could happen next? Scenario 1. The front office listens to the fans, ignores this idea, and looks for other options. Maybe a veteran who still has something left. Maybe they truly commit to the youth movement. Scenario 2. They signed Justin Turner. Fans complain, but he surprises people and has a few good moments. Unlikely, but possible.